Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
A new report finds the priest who died in police custody, Father Stan Swamy, was framed by hackers. Father Stan Swamy was arrested for alleged ties to terrorist groups and died in prison in 2021. An American digital forensics firm released a report, which shows that a hacker planted multiple incriminating documents in the computer of activist priest Father Stan Swamy's computer. The report of the Arsenal Consulting, a company based in Boston, USA, shows that the allegations against the Indian Jesuit were false. There was an alleged electronic correspondence between the priest and supposed Maoist leaders to make the case that he was part of an explosive conspiracy. The company, contacted by lawyers commissioned by the Society of Jesus, Jesuits, in India, says that 44 documents, including the so-called letters to the Maoists, cited as evidence against Swamy, were implanted on his personal computer by a hacker who managed to access it, via a malware called NetWire, for about 5 years, from 2014 until 2019, when the PC was seized and examined by the Indian police. The Indian Jesuit Cedric Prakash, who worked so hard in the last 2 years to defend Father Swamy, told Fides, "We knew Stan and were completely certain of his innocence and good faith. This is proof that Father Swamy was framed." Arrested on absurd charges of collaboration with terrorist groups, he died in custody at the age of 83, weakened by long and unjust imprisonment. Today we hand them over to the National Investigation Agency of India, NIA, so that investigations are carried out and mistakes are admitted. We demand the full rehabilitation of Father Swamy as a completely innocent person, even with a possible suo motu ruling from the Supreme Court of India. Father Stan Swamy, Jesuit, who was known for his long commitment to tribal people and their rights in the state of Jharkhand, spent almost 9 months in prison before he died at the age of 84 in a Mumbai hospital on the 5th of July 2021 from COVID-19, which he contracted in detention. The Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa has received devastating floods causing many deaths. Authorities in Kinshasa confirmed that more than 140 people have died in widespread floods and landslides. Pope Francis is scheduled to make a trip to the Congo in late January. There is no hope of finding survivors, Minister of Health Lisa Nembalemba told the Associated Press by phone. The government has announced 3 days of mourning. About 12 million people live in the 24 neighborhoods of Kinshasa hit by floods and landslides, which were triggered by heavy rains Monday night. The damage flooded nearly 40,000 houses and flattened nearly 300, said local authorities. While in the United States attending the U.S.-Africa Summit, Congo's President Félix Tshisekedi said he felt sorrow when he heard about the damage and called on authorities to speed up recovery efforts. Tshisekedi instructed his government to help grieving families. It is becoming increasingly urgent that the urban authorities seriously focus on major construction in the city to minimize the magnitude of such natural disasters, said Fridolin Ambongo, Catholic Archbishop of Kinshasa. Jesuit Superior Father Arturo Sosa confirms that Father Marko Rupnik had been excommunicated due to the absolution of an accomplice in a sin against the Sixth Commandment. Father Marko Rupnik, is a Jesuit artist, is under ministry restrictions after abuse allegations. Father Arturo Sosa, Superior General of the Jesuits, confirmed that Father Marko Rupnik, the Slovenian Jesuit and artist, is in restricted ministry because of abuse allegations, and had been excommunicated. The excommunication was due to the canon law regarding the absolution of an accomplice in a sin against the Sixth Commandment, a reference to sex. CNS explains, Father Rupnik incurred excommunication automatically when he heard the confession and granted absolution, but the excommunication was confirmed by the then Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, said Father Arturo Sosa, Superior General of the Order. On December 14, while meeting with reporters, Father Sosa said the excommunication was lifted when Father Rupnik admitted his wrongdoing, repented and wrote a formal request for forgiveness. CNS wrote that several Italian blogs reported that the case involved a consecrated Italian woman and that the doctrinal office's investigation of that allegation was conducted from 2019 to 2020. The Jesuits had confirmed in early December that the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith received another complaint about Father Rupnik in 2021 involving members of a women's religious community in Slovenia. Father Rupnik was a spiritual advisor to the community in the late 1980s and early 1990s. The doctrinal office asked the Jesuits to conduct a preliminary investigation, which they entrusted to a religious from another order, the Jesuits' December 2 statement said. A report was submitted to the doctrinal office, which closed the case because the statute of limitations had expired. Father Rupnik's artwork decorates chapels in the Vatican, all over Europe, in the United States and Australia. The Jesuits say that he is barred from hearing confessions, offering spiritual direction and leading retreats, and he is required to have the permission of his local superior before publishing articles or books or engaging in any public ministry. Father Rupnik may continue celebrating Mass and making art, Father Sosa told reporters at the pre-Christmas gathering. The restrictions imposed were determined by the type of situation that was reported by the victims, he said, describing them as surpassing the limits of what is appropriate in a relationship between adults when a priest is carrying out his ministry. Father Sosa said the case shows how much we still have to learn, especially about people's suffering. This case, like others, causes us shock and sorrow. It forces us to understand and empathize with the suffering of all those involved in one form or another.
Watch our programme every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic News World channel. God bless.
Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.